Good morning to Voice Academy. It is now December 3rd, which means we only have 11 more days, 11 more sleeps till we're free for break. Yeah, so that's good. For today, another green day on our iPads. iPad expectations is that you do have them out and on your desk ready to work on. As you come in right now, they should be out, open to the 12:03 bell ringer. You are in Mr. Storkerson's 9th grade physics and earth and space science class. Today we are focusing on not Venus, not Mars, but Jupiter. Jupiter is our planet of the day, covering a review of that in our second part after we do the thing we're doing now, which is you watching this video and completing a bell ringer for 10 points. After that, you can get extra credit for taking notes on my review of Jupiter, showing you my notes. And then you have one new ed puzzle, low mass stars. In addition to that, I will try to throw up an extra credit ed puzzle for those who are already done, so that way you can get those complete. Number one way to raise your grade is to do these ed puzzles. Remember, this was originally an ed puzzle, I'm just reviewing it with you. Do your ed puzzles because most of the information that I want you to know derives from that. Most of the information I want you to know comes from that. So today, I can present information on the planet Jupiter. Let's do our bell ringer. Let's review Jupiter together. And then finish up class with you guys independently completing your low mass stars ed puzzle along with anything else you're missing. What if you're done? Well, congratulations. That means you can do something quietly in your chair. You can do something quietly in your chair while everybody else finishes the low mass stars ed puzzle. Just kidding, we have expectations. 1, 2, 3, 4. First one is a warning, get a second warning. The third one is supposed to be contacting home, and that will certainly happen if you hit number 4 and you have to be removed by admin. I will call on the fourth warning to have you removed from the classroom. It's just what we need in order to keep this class environment good for everybody. So hopefully that is nothing that you guys have a problem with, given that it's the only way that any of us can thrive. Things need to be orderly enough for us to be heard, quiet enough for us to hear each other. That's why we're implementing this.
What you know about rolling down in the deep?
What are those expectations, you may ask? Well, they are exactly the same. You see this classroom? We want to keep the desks roughly in this configuration, staying in your assigned seat, and following these 3 main rules. That we are keeping our hands to ourselves. Safe hands means that you are not throwing anything or anyone. Please do not throw your classmates around. You are not touching anyone. You're not hitting anyone. You're not pushing anyone. If you're not touching anyone, then you're not throwing anyone. And if you are trying to be considerate of each other, you're not throwing anything at them. Let's just not throw anything at all, even if nobody's in there. That includes throwing things in the trash can. If you need to throw something away, please just keep it on your desk until the end of class, or raise your hand and I will come to you so that way you can get up and throw it away. That gets us to number 2. Raise your hand to contribute to the class conversation. Raise your hand to get up. That goes back to number 1, that you are going to be seated the entire time. If you want to change this, you have to ask. If you want to change your seated position, you have to ask to get up, and you do that by raising your hand. I do not want to hear from anyone who has not raised their hand. If it's important enough for me to stop class in here, then it should be important enough for you to raise your hand. Bell ringer question is, how many calf raises, specifically single leg calf raises? Ideally, how many single leg calf raises should you be able to do in order to avoid the likelihood of a lower leg injury? If you would like to avoid injuring your legs, how many single leg calf raises should you condition your body to be able to do?
Hey, I'm from the word department. We need a word for people that struggle reading and writing words. Dyslexia. What?
Dyslexia.
How do you spell that?
Dyslexia.
That seems needlessly unfair, but okay. We also need a word for the speech defect which affects the letter S.
Lisp.
Okay, why name the condition something they can't say? Finally, we need a word for a fear of long words.
What? Hippopotamonstroses quiptaliophobia.
Why?
Because chaos reigns.
If you're an avid runner, you should be able to do 25 to 30 consecutive single-leg calf raises without losing your balance or fatiguing to the point where you can't continue. The further away you are from 25 to 30 reps, the closer you are to a lower leg or foot or ankle injury. Increasing your ability to do 20 reps to 30 reps decreases your risk of injury by 20%. I ended up with exactly 25. How many can you do?
Bell ringer question is, how many calf raises, specifically single leg calf raises? Ideally, how many single leg calf raises should you be able to do in order to avoid the likelihood of a lower leg injury? If you would like to avoid injuring your legs, how many single leg calf raises should you condition your body to be able to do?
If you're an avid runner, you should be able to do 25 to 30 consecutive single-leg calf raises without losing your balance or fatiguing to the point where you can't continue. The further away you are from 25 to 30 reps, the closer you are to a lower leg or foot or ankle injury. Increasing your ability to do 20 reps to 30 reps decreases your risk of injury by 20%. I ended up with exactly 25. How many can you do?